In fact, the whole human race suffers from a sort of a genetic PTSD. It's called original sin. Remember the elements in the Garden of Eden. See, in PTSD, the person is affected by the elements that were in the trauma scene. Okay? It continues to be until the issue is resolved, which I'm going to talk about. The sounds, the smells, the sights, the words, things that were said in the trauma scene later have an effect on the person when he encounters them or she encounters them in real life, or sometimes they come up from the subconscious. Okay? So, in the original trauma scene in the Garden of Eden, that's right, it was a trauma scene. What happened? There was a spoken word. Aren't we all affected by words, other people's words? Why are you so affected by what other people say about you? Have you ever noticed? Food. We're very much affected by food. Most people have a problem with food. Men are affected by women, the presence of a woman. And it was a woman that was present in the Garden of Eden. And of course, women are affected by men. So when new situations come along in your life involving people, men and women, the things that they say, the culture that you were raised in, the food that you were raised on. Now do you see why they affect you so much? Okay? So, you see how we're already born in a sort of a trauma situation? Well, all right, so now you see how the deck was stacked against you, but luckily there is a redemption from it. It can be resolved, and trauma can be undone. Okay? In fact, that's what Christ came to do, to undo the trauma from the original failing of men, falling away from God, and restore men to God, and undo the trauma. In fact, that's what the Last Supper was for, to undo the food trauma. I have a book on the subject, Forbidden Food, The Legacy of Paradise Lost and the Promise of Redemption. You really ought to get it. But now perhaps you can see why, what you need to resolve your PTSD, your childhood trauma. What you need is the light. You need the light from God. We call it the Christ light.